Top 10 FDA-approved toxic food additives. Don't you just love tasty sausage links, patties, and bacon? What about some cookies topped with your favorite sweets, or a cozy hug from your cup of go-to coffee? From healthy greens to margarine spreads, we foodies just love spoiling our taste buds with anything we crave. But before you take that scrumptious bite, Better Believers, why don't you take a deeper look at the food you're buying from the store? You might find some of these food additives on the ingredient list. In this video, we'll take you through a microscopic journey into the chemistry of diet foods, flavor enhancers, and other hidden ingredients, revealing the top 10 FDA-approved toxic food additives that are hidden in plain sight. So if you want to live a little longer and a little healthier, make sure you take notes. And stay tuned for number 1. It'll make you rethink some of your favorite food choices. Let's check out number 10, MSG. When it comes to our savory dishes, have you ever wondered why your palate just can't get enough of that flavorful sensation? Well, it might be because of our good old friend, MSG. Monosodium glutamate is widely used to intensify and enhance the flavor of savory dishes. MSG is ever present in your favorite mouth-watering hot dogs, beef jerky, sausages, pepperoni, and even lunch meat. It's also mixed in your noodles, chips, salad dressings, ketchup, and any sauce you could possibly think of. With its omnipresence, you might think it's totally fine to consume regularly, but not quite. Some research shows that people who are allergic to MSG show physical symptoms like nausea, stomach aches, drowsiness, and in extreme cases, anaphylactic shock. Animal studies resulted in an undesirable relationship between MSG and nerve damage, heart problems, and even seizures. Other observational studies even link MSG to weight gain and metabolic syndromes. Most Asians have and add MSG to almost all of their dishes. From soup to fried and even grilled, MSG is always the way to go. Ajinomoto, a Japanese company solely devoted in manufacturing MSG, describes the flavor brought by the additives as umami, or in English, the essence of taste. With that in mind, maybe it makes sense why we can't get enough of it. While MSG is categorized by the FDA as generally recognized as safe, it doesn't mean that you should eat to your heart's desire. It is always better to have everything in moderation. Some doctors even recommend to completely remove it from your diet. We do. But then again, isn't life a tad bit better and a tiny bit brighter with a little pinch of umami? Oh, and before we move on to our countdown, don't forget to like this video, turn on notifications, and subscribe to our channel, or Bak will rise from the dead and eat your face off! Atomic number 13 is toxic food additive number 9. Because of its widespread presence, aluminum is considered the third most abundant element on Earth. It's literally anywhere, from water to dust, and of course, our food. The most common aluminum food additives are sodium aluminum phosphate and sodium aluminum sulfate, which are found in your favorite flours, cheese, and cereals. So before you decide to get that bread, maybe take a step back or two. Highly processed foods normally have higher amounts of aluminum than those minimally processed. With that said, you might want to consider visiting your local food co-op or farm more often. Firming agents in pickled foods, rice, milk, and olives also contain small volumes of aluminum. Just saying. According to the Center for Disease Control, some studies show that people exposed to high levels of aluminum may develop Alzheimer's, but others have found this untrue. Kidney disease patients also have a hard time removing aluminum from their bodies. Consequently, some doctors believe that excess aluminum tends to cause bone and brain diseases. Hey, don't worry about finding a chunk of metal in the next X-ray results, since aluminum doesn't work that way. Cellulose gum sticks right on the 8th spot. Cellulose gum, also known as carboxymethylcellulose, or CMC for short, is a food additive that thickens food, making them pasty and creamier. CMC is also used in making foods last longer, which helps it find its way into many foods. Because it is capable of making foods thick and creamy, cellulose gum is frequently used as a dietary supplement, acting as a filler and a fat substitute. Cellulose gum helps by making you feel full without all the fat. Loose bowel movement is one common side effect of cellulose gum intake. That's why some people even use it as a laxative. But one thing you should know about cellulose gum is that it's also used in cosmetic thickeners and in paint as an emulsifier. So before you buy your salad dressing, you might want to pair it with your painted walls. Cellulose gum also raises concern for causing cancer in very high quantities. And in some rare cases, allergic reactions are seen in patients with high cellulose gum consumption. Once again, moderation is key. Sodium nitrate lands in number 7. For a very long time, the salt sodium nitrate has been commonly used as a preservative. It's especially used in your favorite breakfast staple lineup of cured meat. Cured meats are your mouth-watering selections of bacon, hot dogs, sausages, salami, and even smoked fish. These delicacies are packed with sodium nitrate, so much so that having an excessively high intake may cause colorectal cancer. It's also linked to various types of diseases like leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, heart disease, and even ovarian, stomach, esophageal, pancreatic, and thyroid cancers. So before you get a second helping of that show bacon, think again. Number 6. At number 6, we have a guilt-free sweet, aspartame. Aspartame is an artificial sweetener that is present in over 6,000 products all over the world. Aspartame's objective is your pleasure, but that's all there is to it. Aspartame is considered an excitotoxin, a chemical that has literally no health benefit but to make your taste buds happy. Maybe that's why we're all slaves to our go-to carbonated soft drinks, desserts, candies, and even cough drops. Marketed and packaged as NutraSweet and Equal, you've seen packets of aspartame sitting on the table of your favorite restaurant along with sugar and cream, unless you live under a rock. A study from February 13, 2006 studied the carcinogenic effects in rats, summarizes the safety of aspartame, effectively saying, a statistically significant increase in the incidence of malignant tumors, lymphomas, and leukemia in rats exposed to varying doses of aspartame appears to be linked to the artificial sweetener carcinogenicity. The study went on to reveal that these carcinogenic effects appeared at 20 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, and Americans are approved to eat up to 50 milligrams per kilogram a day. Does it make you wonder? Let us know in the comments sections below. Splenda takes the 5 spot. Sucralose is made by chlorinating a sucrose molecule. That means adding chlorine to sugar. Blech. Tate & Lyle and Johnson & Johnson were the first companies to begin marketing sucralose in 1999. Hey, doesn't Johnson & Johnson make soap? And with its calorie-free characteristic, sucralose penetrated the market as easily as any essential commodity out there. What's more, sucralose is 400 to 700 times sweeter than sugar itself. Now that's just splendid. Speaking of splendid, Splenda is the most popular sucralose-based product out there, and it is literally used in any cooking and baking replacing sugar. While it's true that sucralose has little to no effect on your blood sugar and insulin, people who are not used to consuming artificial sweeteners should be cautioned. Some studies show a considerable spike in their blood sugar and insulin levels. Research shows that sucralose breaks down at high temperatures, 350 Fahrenheit and up, and when mixed with other substances like glycerol, a kind of fat molecule, may become carcinogenic. So baking with Splenda might not be as splendid in the end. While sucralose is not considered harmful in itself, it's always good to keep in mind that natural is often better than artificial. The sweeter it gets, the more wicked it becomes. High fructose corn syrup is our number 4. Let me start by saying that it's bad. Definitely bad. High fructose corn syrup is an added sugar that is linked to so many toxic health cases that fingers are not enough to count them. High fructose corn syrups can be found in soda, Tetra packaged juices, candies, breakfast cereals, and all junk foods, basically. High fructose corn syrups play a major role in the obesity epidemic in America. Unlike glucose, fructose is a lot harder to break down from fat and convert into the fuel your body needs. And most of the time, it becomes stagnant and useless inside of you. Because of this, fatty liver failure and type 2 diabetes has become a predominant case in society. Fructose also boosts visceral fat accumulation, which is the root cause of obesity and heart disease. There's no upsides with high fructose corn syrups, or fructose specifically. Steering clear from it may be the only chance you have against its effects. Don't wait till you're 100 pounds heavier before you decide to avoid them. You know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Yellow number 5 gets to be the number 3 this time around. Tartrazine is an artificial food color, or AFC, used in desserts, candies, baked goods, and cereals to aid in shelf life and make them flavorful and appetizing. Sounds like a great remedy for a picky eater. Well, one study back in 2007 showed a very solid connection between drinks containing AFC yellow number 5 and hyperactivity in children. Because of these findings, the food standard agencies and European Union deemed that yellow 5 and other AFCs are unsafe for kids. As a result, companies had to put warning labels on their products containing yellow number 5 as an ingredient. And if that wasn't enough to dissuade you, a 2015 study revealed that excessive intakes may also lead to cancer, as AFCs damage white blood cells' DNA, causing the cell to mutate over time. And most AFCs metabolize in your colon, making colon cancer more likely. Who needs hyperactivity and colon cancer anyways? Not me. Still spinning our color wheel is blue number 2. Indigotine is as sinister as it sounds. Blue number 2s, sometimes called lakes, are used for coating candies or pills. While the FDA declares blue number 2 safe for use in food supplements, the Center for Science in the Public Interest has found otherwise. In animal lab tests, results showed significant increase in brain cancer and abnormal cell development risks. Not only do lakes not have any nutritional value, its safety is even more questionable. And just like yellow number 5, indigotine is also linked to hyperactivity in children and other behavioral disorders. Blue number 2 is also used in baked goods, cereals, ice cream, snacks, and cherries. And what you've all been waiting for, the number 1 spot is stained with the red dye number 3. Red dye number 1, 2, and 4 were all banned in the 1970s. The FDA has postponed its decision to ban red dye number 3 26 times, with research showing evidence of catastrophic damage to human liver cells and interfering with thyroid function. The crimson coloring is still used prevalently from sausages to maraschino cherries. Just like its proven Power Ranger mates yellow number 5 and blue number 2, red dye number 3 is also shown to cause ADHD among children. While our top 3 spots have spoken about just 3 dyes, there are actually 9 that the Center for Science and Public Interest have identified as harmful. Shockingly, the food industry dumps 15 million pounds of these non-nutritious substances into our food supply every year. So if you've had a hard time focusing and holding still, maybe it's time to evaluate what you're eating. So there you have it, Better Believers, the top 10 FDA-approved toxic food additives. Which one are you planning to get rid of from your diet? Let us know in the comments section below. At the end of the day, it's all about making informed decisions. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and if you found this video fun and interesting, check out one of these.